You're connected to Bristol Adult Education. My name is Art Costa.
Ken Garay is a Bristol resident and radio broadcaster. He reaches Spanish-speaking sports fans across the globe. He also teaches conversational Spanish, and he's a new member of our adult ed family. How are you doing, Ken?
I'm doing great, regardless of the circumstances. But little by little, we are coming ahead, and hopefully, we'll come out of this well and continue, go back to our regular life. You got to be very patient. It's a one day at a time thing. But we're all new at this, so it's a whole new experience that we need to capture and try to assimilate little by little, and just do your best. That's all you could do, and abide by the regulations and restrictions.
You spend a lot of time in a rapidly changing industry. Can you just trace your career path for us? Where have you been, and where are you now, and where do you hope to go?
Sure. I'm going to make it brief. Um, Actually, I was born in New York, raised in Colombia. So I got my first contact with radio being 11 at a local radio station in my hometown in Colombia, Bucaramanga, Colombia. And then after that, I moved to Miami. I went to school in Miami. I got an Associate of Science in Broadcast Journalism and then a bachelor's. And my first radio job was in West Palm Beach in 1993, a year before the World Cup happened here in the United States. Then after that, I moved to Miami, went to a bigger market, and had different things at local radio stations in Miami until I found a niche. I found a place in life at Caracol Radio, a very popular local radio station in Miami. Stayed there for 10 years. Then ESPN called me. I moved up to Bristol. We started the radio operation, the Spanish radio operation, and it shut down like a year ago. So I've been doing radio. I've been doing a morning show from 6 to 9 in the morning in this network called Unánimo Deportes Radio. A lot of the journalists and reporters and radio people in general that was at ESPN moved to this network. So I do a morning show called El Despertador, which is like the alarm clock, to translate it literally. El Despertador with El Vikingo and Garay. The Viking is the co-host. I'm the host. And so I do it from home from 6 to 9 in the morning, Spanish show. And we are getting good audience. And believe it or not, in this pandemic, in this quarantine, people are staying home. And although there's many choices, a lot of people continues to use radio and even more as their daily company, as a change of pace. So we're having a very interesting experience in this pandemic.
So what do? You have a place in the house where you disappear for 3 hours. It's quiet, and you just take care of business right there.
Art, I'm from the Bronx of radio. I call it. I'm used to doing radio from anywhere. I remember back when I used to call in and do reports from payphones, way back
right?
whenever I didn't have a cell phone or when cell phones weren't around. Nowadays, I don't actually have a studio per se. Or in other words, I come here where I am talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
I have my microphone here. See, I could show you.
There you go.
So I just go on the air like this. I connect through an access machine. I think I might show it to you. I could, let me see. Yeah, this would allow me to show it to you right here. See, that's an access. That's a Comrex. So what I do is I connect through that Comrex through an IP address, and then they pick up from the station headquarters in Miami. People would think that I'm in a studio, but I'm not. So I just do it from here. All these applications, all these Comrex, so there's many different ways to go on the air with audio and video that will give you high quality from anywhere.
Well, how long have you been working from home?
Actually, back when I was at ESPN, I did many shows from here because whenever it was required, the thing is, at ESPN I did radio and TV, so TV I would have to go there. I'm still with ESPN. I call games on TV, so we're all praying the sports come back soon, so we could continue calling games, basketball, soccer, also American football. We were doing the XFL actually, that went out of business, and but as far as radio, I did many shows from here. Not the morning show. The morning show I used to go there. I used to go to the ESPN campus, but I would do radio at night whenever I was needed, whenever there was an event. So So I've been doing this kind of stuff for a long time.
Wow.
Uh, and for this radio gig, most of the people work out of the Miami office, or they live in Miami. So basically, I'm the only one that's actually from a remote location every day. But now with the pandemic, everybody is from a remote location. So we kind of learned to work from home, all of us. Not everybody has a Convex. I'm blessed to have it, but people do Skype, people do Zoom, people connect through a link that they sent us the other day. So basically, like you were saying with a friend. You told me, I think, before we went on the air, um, you were talking to a friend that coming to the conclusion that the world has changed and will change forever after this. Well, I think going to the studio is not going to be that essential anymore, and a lot of people are going to continue working remote.
So do you think there'll be more opportunity for people or less opportunity?
I think there will be. You see, I'm an optimist by nature. I I always I wake up in the morning and try to decide to have a good day every day, which I think is very personal, very something that you could do, at least try to do.
Sure.
Uh, but regardless of, and looking at the picture as clear and objectively as I could look at it, I think there's more opportunity, maybe at a lower pay rate. In other words, I think we're going into a completely different. We're going into a transformation. Uh, we're going from a stage to another, and audio, because now it's not called radio, because the actual radio, that little radio you and I used to have, is not around anymore.
No,
So
it's
so
not.
we're going into a different stage where actually you have your own radio station. It's called social networking, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You could do audio, video. So it's not TV and radio anymore. It's basically audio and video. So I think there's more opportunities, maybe making less money, but and the audience in general, that those huge, humongous ratings of a show that had the general audience of the United States tuned in, and they're not going to be around anymore. We're all very niche now. It's like a bunch of niche all over the place. Like you have your podcast, I got my podcast, I got my people, he has his people. It's kind of different.
Yeah, we're
Because nowadays you're home, they bombard you with 200 channels. But you could also go and look for a podcast uh, about whatever you want. If you like exotic birds, you could just type in exotic birds and listen about the subject and updates and all, every day. So we're all very niche now. So I think we're going to have more opportunity, maybe making less money. That's the problem.
we're moving from broadcasting to microcasting, or
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and the,
Um,
and believe me, it's going to be profitable. Is um, in a different way. I see a lot of those podcasts that you see.
mhm,
They kind of ask for contributions. Huh? There's
mhm.
different, and some of these guys, whatever people send them, they live off. It's different. It has completely changed, but I think it's evolving for a different way of doing things, but also a way that will allow for opportunities to be there.
Speaking about doing different things, let's shift now from the incredible world of broadcasting to continuing ed. Um, as I recall, you had started a class, Conversational Spanish, and I think you met once. Is that correct? Or
Twice,
twice? You met twice,
twice.
and then
I'm proud. I'm proud to say I conquered two classes.
not bad, my friend. Now, how was that experience?
I enjoyed it very much,
That's
but
great.
I'm learning. I'm trying to be myself, outgoing, warm with people, and trying to make people feel like at home in the classroom. Keep it simple and make it fun, and hopefully people will at least come out of the class with the basics: to order food, to ask for directions, to say hi in the morning, to greet people, to say bye to people, all that.
I may actually drop into that class myself, Conversational Spanish. Before we log off, I'd like to hear how you sound every morning.
Sure. I'm gonna do it in Spanish. Okay,
Please.
let me get into a situation right here, just like
Okay.
I do in the morning.
There you go.
Here we go. Hola, ¿qué tal? Buenos días. Aquí estamos con mucho gusto. Bienvenidos donde quiera que se encuentren. Un fuerte abrazo. Arrancamos tempranito, con energía positiva, con la alegría de siempre. El despertador con Costa y quien les habla, Kenneth Garay, para todos ustedes en los Estados Unidos. Un día más de esta salimos juntos, nos damos la mano virtual y le ganamos al coronavirus. Un abrazo. Bienvenidos, ¿qué tal?
Thank you for your time, my friend. You stay well.
Art, thank you, and thanks for the opportunity. And hopefully, hey, whenever content like this is needed, as far as a class or anything, I'll be more than ready, and it's going to be a great pleasure, like always. Thank you.
Looking forward to working with you.
Thanks for having me.